Okay, everybody, this is like the second attempt we've made to record this video. Basically, we I have shown my girlfriend this because this is Yuki, by the way. Say hi.
Hi.
I have gotten a little bit interested in Plushie Dreadfuls because to I wanted to buy the fibromyalgia bunny. So I look up Plushie Dreadfuls on like Google or whatever. And I come across this fucking video. And it made me genuinely mad. And I want to explain why it made me so genuinely mad. So let's get started. Please subscribe.
Some beef with these goddamn rabbits, alright? Just hear me out. I'm just gonna start with the most
Good
egregious
start.
shit first. Bipolar 2. If you know, you know. What the fuck is
I
it?
don't
They
understand
talk about
why
how they're
this
like,
is so
oh, it's
bad.
not just moodiness. Your entire design reflects the fact that you don't believe that.
No, okay. Let me and Yuki, I think we both suffer from like a form of bipolar.
Uh, I wouldn't say I have bipolar.
Okay, well, I suffer from something called schizoaffective disorder, which is on the bipolar spectrum as well as the schizophrenia spectrum. I do not see anything wrong with this design. I know what it's getting at. I know that it's saying like you have manic phases and depressive phases. I don't understand how you can find something like this offensive. I don't understand
Be-
how you can find something like this non-representative.
because they are looking at it and being like, well, that's not 100% true. It's too extreme. Not understanding symbolism.
Or that, some people are extreme with it.
Do suffer from the extreme version.
Yes, you've seen my lash outs. They're bad. They're very bad. You've seen me slip into psychosis. They're bad. It's
Mm-hmm.
bad. Manic episodes are bad. They suck. They're not fun.
That yourself. You quite literally just have it dumbed down to happy, sad day, night. Like, man,
I'm sorry, but how else do you depict it? How do you depict something as complicated as a mental disorder
Mm-hmm.
in a short amount of time?
Yeah.
Most people with bipolar 2 who I know like this.
Mm-hmm.
My
Look,
friend has
again,
bipolar 2 and literally told me they were going to buy this plushie next payday.
symbolism. It doesn't have to be accurate to your case. It just has to symbolize it.
Yeah, and also for the love of fucking god, representation to me is nice. Representation of the extreme, not quirky form of mental illness and physical illness because I have fibromyalgia. I was going to buy the fibromyalgia bunny, which I like. Let's see the fibromyalgia
Mm-hmm.
bunny. It's a bit extreme. Fibromyalgia, fibro, Plushy Dreadfuls. Right.
Fibromyalgia.
Fibromyalgia. Um, this is a bit of an extreme representation of myalgia, or fibro rather, but it works. You have the rainbow butterfly, commonly associated with fibro, the fibromyalgia awareness colors, the tender points represented with red embroidery, which I know that the tender pressure points thing isn't really. This is an outdated plushie, but like, who cares? These are the points where I do feel pain, and I like it. I like this rabbit a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, symbolism is extreme. You have to get over that.
Manic, not manic. That is insane. PTSD, why are we chained? Why are we representing this as if we are chained back?
Because we feel that way. Most of
I
us feel that
definitely
way.
feel that way.
These designs are submitted by people with extreme cases of these disorders.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you don't feel chained back by your PTSD or like hopeless or like you're masking all the time or like you're crying under your mask or that you feel like no one understands you doesn't mean everyone feels the same way. A lot of us feel this way. A lot of us feel chained.
Mm-hmm.
We're never going to forget that experience for the rest of our goddamn life.
Held back by our
You're
trauma.
just complaining to
What
complain.
the fuck? Like, we are masking. Plenty of other disorders mask.
I fucking
don't
hate TikTok
understand the
Zoomers.
concept of these designs and like who designed them exactly. It's giving grifting a lot, and that's how I've always felt.
Can we stop using the term grifting for everything?
How's this a goddamn grift?
I don't understand how this is a grift at all. Grifting means publishing something that you don't believe in order to get money. It is very clear American McGee believes that he's doing something good with these plushies. It's genuinely like, yes, some of the information is a little outdated, but he gets it from asking people how it is. He consults experts on how to represent this stuff, how to do these plushies. If he can't find someone who personally knows the experience, he gets an expert in to tell him about what it's like. And yes, unfortunately, we all deal with it in a very different way. There's no such thing as being an expert on a condition like this.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us have experiences that are vastly different from each other.
About it, it's very grifting. And here's another big reason about why I feel like that.
Very grifting.
They have a plushie for adrenal fatigue. Now, if you're not familiar with things like adrenal fatigue, this is pseudoscience. This is not real. This is not.
Okay, I'm gonna say something. People misinterpret what pseudoscience actually means.
Yes, sometimes people use it to mean not real.
It's a collection of beliefs or practices mistakenly regarded as being based on scientific method. Adrenal fatigue or fatigue in general can't really be defined by scientific method. If you really want to get into it, therapy and psychology are technically pseudoscience. Because you cannot examine the brain in such a way that you can make theory based on complex emotions. Psychology, psychiatry, all that stuff is pseudoscience. Does that mean it's fake? No. It's not fake. It's just not based on the scientific method. Because you can't use the scientific method with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if we're really gonna get into, oh, they shouldn't even have this because it's pseudoscience, then I guess they shouldn't have PTSD, or they shouldn't have anxiety, or they shouldn't have literally all of the, you know, psychological disorders.
Mental disorders are literally not able to be proven through scientific method. PTSD doesn't like change your brain chemistry or anything. Neither does anxiety. Well, anxiety might because of dopamine and all that. But like PTSD, psychological diseases that are or disorders rather, not diseases. We're not going to say disease. I don't like saying disease. Psychological disorders typically aren't based in scientific fact. They are based on emotion or empathy. Like, technically, if you're going to go into, oh, this is pseudoscientific, so it's not real, every single mental disorder is not real. And that is something we should really be straying away from. It's very damaging to say something like that.
not a real condition. They aren't even doing enough research.
It's also not considered a condition. It's considered a set of symptoms that define that. Basically, it's people with chronic pain suffer from like adrenal fatigue a lot.
Into their fucking designs that they don't even know that this isn't real. This is pseudoscience. One Google search will tell you what adrenal fatigue.
You don't know what pseudoscience even means. Technically, PTSD is pseudoscience. Again.
And also, if your source is Wikipedia, you may have an issue.
Yeah,
Because
like
WebMD disagrees with you that it is not real.
yes. And also, let's talk about their opinions on representation. I personally think representation of little known or rare disorders is great. I think representation is nice. I like having representation, especially in something that is meant to give me comfort. So, let's continue, and then we'll get to
that it is a
or their
pseudoscientific
views on
term.
representation. I don't know what their
Turn
pronouns
on your
are.
fucking thinking caps, people. Look at this.
You know, fucking talking down to people who disagree with you is like the worst way to get them on your side.
Insinuating that if you disagree with me, you must be stupid is not a great look. Really.
Yeah, and you know what? All right. I'm gonna talk down to you since we're gonna play that game. You sir, you are an idiot. You are stupid. You know nothing about any of this. I hate advocates like you with a fucking passion, and I want you to go away.
A lot of these are just copy pasted, very similar design, like basic level shit.
It's a rabbit.
I don't know how this relates to a Chiari malformation. I don't know how this relates to anemia. There's just so many more.
The anemia one. Okay, here's the thing. If you don't know how it relates to something, they have a helpful little thing. Hold on, give me a second. There are ways to know what this stuff represents. Like, we're just gonna go with the fibromyalgia bunny because it's the one on my history. But here.
That was so difficult.
Wow, I have no idea what this means. Oh, here's what it means. The butterfly awareness symbol is for fibromyalgia. The pink embroidery dots indicate myalgia tender points, which is where we feel pain usually. That was easy. Now, let's look at the one that they are bitching about. Anemia. There's two. Actually, there's three for anemia. There's ARFID, which I don't know ARFID personally.
Oh, that's not anemia.
It's like it's not anemia, but I'm guessing it's a form of eating disorder.
It's people that can't eat certain things.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. But like, yeah,
from my understanding, I may be incorrect. I don't suffer from this.
Honestly, yeah, this does look a little offensive from the outside, but I'm not gonna talk over people who like it. The symbolism: cream color for paleness and anemia. Empty stomach, trauma due to attempts from others to push those with ARFID into eating. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Now I don't feel offended. Plush bread friend for safe food choice. Bread friend. I actually kind of like that. I'm sorry.
Plush bread friend.
Swirls in the ears for dizziness. Earth symbol for dryness or dehydration. Pretty standard. Anemia. Let's look at what anemia represents. Stitch heart for palpitations and pallor. Blue and white hands and feet for feeling cold, and also because certain people with anemia and iron deficiencies have blue hands and feet. Uh, compress for feeling feverish or worn out, which is another thing that causes.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly feel like this is just a case of this person being massively stupid and not wanting to actually think. Now let's see what they have to say about the autism bunny. Oh, I bet they're gonna be real mad about
They
this
just
one.
want your money, and they want to make money off the fact
Yes.
that mental health and health right now are really popular in social media.
That is not at all what's going on. Plushie Dreadfuls have been around for like 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Before like TikTok, before all the, you know, all of the kind of I'm quirky because I have autism type stuff. And I know that sounds bad, but I've seen that so many times before. People were faking Tourette's and OCD on TikTok. Like fucking these have been around for a long time.
Because people are figuring out they might be disabled, which is good for you. Nothing against that.
That comes off as really dismissive. It comes
Yeah.
off as really dismissive to be like, "Oh, you found out you're disabled. Well, good for you. I don't fucking care. I don't care if something brings you joy. I care about my personal offense. I care that I'm offended. I don't care that you're not." God,
Mm.
I hate people like this so much.
But the fact that they're trying to profit off of this is. I'm out. Like, this shit is fucking annoying.
You're
Also,
annoying.
I just want to, like, mention that they are trying to, like, push out these designs. Like, I don't know how fast they're trying to do this, but slow down. Clearly, like, I guess this one's kind of cute, but I had seen designs online that were really infantilizing that.
I hate
Glad
that
you at least went
term.
with this one, but it still feels pretty fucking infantilizing with some of the shit you have on here, but
Okay,
I digress.
okay, you're
Doesn't
done.
even show what is supposedly infantilizing. Nothing they showed was infantilizing.
Yeah,
So
it's not infantilizing. Also, I'm gonna show something. This is how they get their designs and why certain ones are made. This is also the
mm-hmm.
one they were looking at with the adrenal fatigue plushie. That was a design someone submitted. It's currently on hold, but because of the tariffs. But basically, these are designs submitted by the community, people with these disorders. These are designs submitted by them. These are designs that are put up for, you know, for a thing and like a vote, basically. Told, hey, does this represent you? Are you okay with this representation? And if people are okay with it, then they say yes, and it goes up. But what do they think about, you know, people who find comfort in these? Or people who are wondering how you're supposed to depict or represent complex illnesses like this in plushie form. Let's go to their comments where they have been flat out dismissing every single disabled person's opinion. Okay, if you don't have any of those disabilities, I don't think you're in any position to criticize how others should feel or how others perceive their own feelings. I do. Thanks though. Yeah, okay. Even if you do have these disorders, which it's TikTok, I don't believe you. You should not say something like that. You do not fucking speak for all of us. I am so sick of this. I am sick of people who do shit like this. Okay, like, um, okay. Hey, so some people cope differently with PTSD. I'm aware of that. However, there is a difference between that and someone attempting to make a marketable plush.
Hey, remind me, what does American McGee suffer from?
See, PTSD.
Yeah, weird. Almost like he might be coping with it.
You not personally resonating or liking them doesn't make them bad. Are we really doing this again? I fear I didn't say that's why I thought they were harmful, but good job on not watching the video. Here's the thing, I just watched the whole video. That is basically exactly what you said. Because I have fibromyalgia, I have PTSD, I have bipolar 2, I have schizoaffective disorder. I am okay with all of these designs. I do not see anything fucking wrong with them. Only
Yeah,
you do. You are the minority here.
Yeah, and also harmful. How are they harmful? I'm guessing only because it infantilizes and it degrades the disorders by making them extreme.
Oh, they make them cute, marketable plushies. Oh, how dare they make something that some people might like and find comfortable. How
How dare
dare...
we have representation
How
that
dare we
isn't
have
just
fun?
how dare we have representation that isn't just yet another broken character in some obscure like comic
Yeah, I'm tired
that
of it.
people can just go, oh, that's totally me.
Okay, the AI art one might be valid, but I have not found any evidence that American McGee actually uses AI art. I have found like one post from
Mm-hmm.
2023 of him talking about AI art before the shit hit the fan with AI art being revealed to be
Mm-hmm.
plagiarism. People
Yeah.
need to realize that back in 2023, people didn't really have that much of a problem with AI stuff because, like, we didn't know it was training off of data off the internet.
People didn't know how they got these data sets.
Now we do. We also now know about the environmental impact.
Mm-hmm.
People need to realize that the the entire like opinion on AI from everybody changed radically in about a year.
Mm-hmm.
I personally really relate to the PTSD one. Thankfully, they didn't respond to this one. I imagine if they did, they would have just gone, "You're an idiot." The per
Mm-hmm.
the creator of the company has gone through a lot of trauma himself. Most of the designs are done with the community too. Absolutely not here to hate or argue, just a question. Aren't all the designs taken from fans who have the disorders, and the people who have them make the plushie on how it feels for them? They do not verify any of that, unfortunately, and many people without them who stigmatize these conditions vote. That's not true, actually.
Get proof. Get proof.
Get proof of this.
If you're going to make a claim that's your claim is a lot more unbelievable than a claim that the designs are by people who suffer from them. You brought up pseudoscience. Scientifically prove it. Show me the proof.
Yeah, here's the thing. There was a Discord for crowd designs and all that. There was a
Mm-hmm.
Discord, and you can read the comments on the crowd designs. Fucking, that's just not true. This is just flat
Like
out false. You can
all you're
verify
doing
this.
all you're doing, Soup, is you are simply going, I don't like this. So the people that made this must not be like me. They must not suffer from these. They must just want to make fun of these conditions.
Let's see what they have to say about representation for people who just kind of like cute stuff. for people who are disabled and like cute things. I hate the Plushie Dreadfuls, but in all fairness, I have no idea how you would portray more complex ideas just with a stuffed rabbit. You don't! Wow! Wow! Representation matters until it doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't
It's
want
like when
representation, you want people to coddle you.
it's like when people are like, we need more autistic characters in media. And then when one comes out, they're just like, the media should not be depicting autism. Which one is it? Do we need more representation or do we need none of it?
This is your opinion, though. Just because you don't like the designs does not mean it's ableist. Hey, so if you had paid attention, they are actually stereotypes oftentimes, which are ableist. No?
Hey, hey,
Stereotypes?
guess what? Hey, guess what? Stereotypes of a disease exist or disorder exist because symptoms.
Yeah,
People who are extremely affected by PTSD act like the stereotype of people severely affected by PTSD.
I'm sick of these people. Genuinely. This has been going on for years now. Like, this isn't just one guy. This is, or one person, rather.
It's
I'm
so
not getting
many.
one guide by a TikTok video. This is, like, multiple people who do
It's
this every
I've
year.
seen this. Look, outside of Plushie Dreadfuls, ignoring Plushie Dreadfuls, I've seen this for every conceivable thing where it has representation. The video game didn't portray that entirely correctly. Like fucking Hellblade. So many people going, that's not how schizophrenia is. Schizophrenic people don't actually hear voices.
Yes, we do.
Schizophrenic people aren't always paranoid.
Yes, we are.
Gee, it's almost like it's a disorder with common
If we're
symptoms.
unmedicated, we are always paranoid. If we are unmedicated, we are hearing voices. We take
And,
medication
and
specifically for that reason.
gee, I wonder if Sinra, the literal Viking in the Viking Age, was medicated.
Probably not.
I mean, what medication could she have had? Fucking trepidation?
I am glad that they don't seem to be replying to this anymore. Because like
Mm-hmm.
so many people with these disorders are flat out telling them, no, you're wrong. And they're only being glazed by other people who are like TikTok disabled people.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know what I mean by TikTok disabled, I mean people who like play up their disability so they can like get views on TikTok and clout. People who are like, oh, my autism is so debilitating, and literally in real life, all they do is talk about Bionicle occasionally. Or,
All people that just fake having something entirely like Tourette's.
we've had
Don't forget
literally
that
so many people
TikToker.
fake Tourette's on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's actually an insane amount of people who fake having Tourette's.
Yeah, I mean, hey, guess what? Guess what, people faking having Tourette's? The more of you that we find out exists, the more people are gonna start believing Tourette's isn't a real thing.
Yeah,
Which it is.
I don't think they care. I think they care more about the
Of
clout.
course they care about the cloud and the little bit of ad revenue they can make, so they don't
Like,
have
this
to work.
person, honestly, like, I'm not going to say I don't believe that they have these disorders. It's not, nice.
Until someone comes out and proves they don't, I'll assume they do.
I'll assume
But
they
it
have
is
them,
TikTok.
but I'm also at this point to where Okay, something I've noticed, and like people are gonna take this the wrong way, but I have to say it. I have noticed people who are like the most vocal disability advocates who claim everything is ableist, every form of
Mm-hmm.
representation, every form of like media, every form of that is ableist or whatever, or they claim that, um certain things are ableist when they're really not. I've found that these people tend to just be fakers.
Yeah,
They
typically.
they tend to either be faking or they tend to not have it as severely as other people. They're usually
Mm-hmm.
just doing it because they want to be angry about something and they want to get clout for being angry and righteously angry. They want to be angry for a good reason as opposed to
Mm-hmm.
just angry.
Yeah,
Like it's how our culture is. Anger literally sells now, and that kind of upsets me.
it's unfortunate.
You know, me on my knees crying because I actually love the anxiety and autism habits. Going through all the comments right now, huh? Yeah, I'm doing great. What's up? Blah 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 blah. I have multiple diagnoses of things, and I like the designs. Okay. People are literally trying to tell you that like most people are okay with this.
Mm-hmm.
People are
And now it's
literally
just like, but I don't like it, so it must be offensive. And if that's your standpoint, if your standpoint is we should get rid of something because it offends me, hey, guess what? Politics loves that idea. I hope you
um
love the fact that they're gonna ban us from existing because we offend them.
I have one thing to say about this. It's a sound effect.
Mm-hmm.
But like this is accurate.
Ugh, later we're going to have to take one of those forced happiness family photos that come in the restaurant's tacky frame.
Why are you so negative all the time?
What? I don't, no, what?
Just every time. Why are you so
Yeah.
fucking negative all the time?
Mm-hmm. You can't just look at something meant to like bring representation to an underrepresented thing made by literally designed by people who have the conditions voted on and manufactured pretty much at like really no cost. I doubt American McGee's making much off of it when he
It's
donates
for
so damn much.
like the plushies are $45 and they're like not stitched with, with underpaid labor. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, that's actually a reasonable price.
Yeah.
That's actually
So,
reasonable. That's perfectly
a-
reasonable. Most plushies I know cost way more.
and you're just gonna sit there and be like, well, it's an oversimplification. Well, the design offends me, so it needs to be banned.
I'm not gonna
We
say
shouldn't have
they
these.
want them banned, but I feel like what
I mean, I'm pretty much saying they shouldn't exist.
yeah, they're basically trying to tell people, hey, don't buy these because they're awful and they're ableist and all that. And it's like, okay, first of all, that's not true. They're not ableist. I'm just genuinely getting kind of sick of it. I just kind of want the whole thing to end and just go away because I've been seeing this a
Mm-hmm.
lot. It's sparked up again recently. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so uh many disabled people have told this person they're
And
wrong,
look,
and they have
look,
basically dismissed them and called them stupid every single time.
and here's the thing. You're not wrong if you have the condition and you feel that this is bad representation or offensive, you're not necessarily wrong. Well, you are wrong is stating that everyone, all of us, should be offended by it. Well, you overgeneralize. No one likes how this looks. This offends people with this. No, it offends you.
Exactly.
If I say, actually, I'm not offended by the PTSD one, and I have PTSD, I can guarantee there's plenty of people that will agree with me. And I can also guarantee there's a handful of people that will agree with a person in this video. And what does that mean? Does that mean we're both correct? Yes, it does mean we're both correct because it's an opinion.
Yeah, and
It's a fucking opinion.
Also because this is a spectrum. The stereotypes they're whining about so much, certain people actually feel that way.
Yeah.
Like, it's not some new thing. It's not an overgeneralization. A lot of us feel that way. It's unfortunate, but we do. I remember getting on call with you when I first started feeling my chronic pain. Or rather, when it started getting worse. Because it wasn't... Okay, so I probably said this a lot, this video, but I have fibromyalgia. I didn't know I had fibromyalgia for ding. I didn't know I had it for a long time. I just assumed I was getting older. I had about 4 out of 5, sometimes 6 levels of pain. Literally over the past month or two, it has gone into about 8 or 9. During it being like 8 or 9, I assumed a lot of things about myself. When I started realizing I might be chronically ill, I got on call with Yuki, and you know what I said? I said I felt like a burden. I felt useless. I felt like I was better off dead. I felt like no one would miss me. I said all that. Because this is how we feel sometimes. This is what happens to us. Those stereotypes are based, quote unquote stereotypes, are based on layers of truth. For certain people, they're less severe. For certain people, they're more severe. And I just
For some people, they're exactly where they are on the plushie dreadfuls.
Honestly, the fibromyalgia gel plushie does make me feel sane. But also, I feel like it doesn't go far enough.
Fair enough. You know, I'm gonna send you something after this video. Like, after we're done recording.
Okay, I think we've summed it up, so let's just get into the kind of sum up here. Oh, I forgot to turn off my Honkai thing. Oh well, this video is sponsored by Honkai Star Rail, I guess.
Thanks, Honkai!
Thanks, Honkai! I'm making $20 off
they
you.
They are never gonna sponsor you again after this.
Yeah, probably not. Honestly, with how I've been having that on just every video, I even have that on the family reunion video, which probably was not a good idea. But anyways, to sum it up, please do not talk over disabled people. Please do not assume that we're all minor on the scale like you are, or that we all suffer the same way. Please just have a little common sense. That is all I ask. Don't get overzealous with your disability advocacy, and maybe chill out a little bit. Anyways, that is all. Thank you very much for watching. That was a very special Academy broadcast. Please subscribe, like, and join the club, and hit the little bell, and give me money on coffee. I am poor. Goodbye.